class, this is Dr. McDonald, and this is a video for the Excel Chapter 2 Garden Furniture in-class assignment. So you would go to Blackboard and just go to, the Excel in-class assignments, and right here, Chapter 2, you would just click on it and follow it through Pearson and download the materials. Right here, download the materials, and when you're done, just upload the file and submit it for grading. Okay, so we download here we go. Remember to enable it. Remember to save your file. Right, so you have your file. We have our instructions. The instructions are 19 steps, so approximately 17 steps once you open it and save it and upload it. Basically, chapter 2, we're working with different formulas. We're doing a VLOOKUP, an XLOOKUP, the if function, the payment function. We'll do some of the time functions. So we're going to cover them pretty much all in this exercise. Alright, so basically you're a finance manager for this furniture company, and that provides financing, delivery, and hands-free setup. Part of your task, we're going to create an Excel workbook that reports sales, payment information, or payment plan information, and summary statistics. Alright, so step 2, basically insert a function in cell C3 to display the current date and ensure that the format is set as a long date. So C3. Alright, so you have a few options. When you go up to formulas, there's date and time. So the two most popular ones, there's a bunch here, but the two most popular ones are now, which returns the current date and time, formatted as a date and time, and this keeps it current. So if you use this today and then you open up the file tomorrow, you will have the current date. So it will not be a static date like we normally just enter a date in. It will change as you open the file. And then today, down here, this returns the current date, formatted as the date. So today does the date, now does the date and time. And there's a few others, but those are the two that are used frequently throughout the exercises. So we're going to select now. So you want to click in C3, go up to formulas, go to date and time, and click on now. And when you do that, it's basically just a function argument box. All you have to do is usually say okay. So we're going to say okay. So you can see I put the date in and the time. Alright, but then the rest of that step is basically set it as a long date. So we're going to go stay clicked in C3, go to home, go to the number area where we've gone before, and we're going to go to long date. So this is going to basically knock out the time, but it's going to put Tuesday, the 10 is October 21st, 2025, and then it will update every time you open the file. So I'm going to click that, and it puts it in like that. So that's your date. Step 3 is to set column C's width to autofit. So you're going to click on C, and you're going to go over to Home, and then Format, and then Autofit column width right here. Alright, so it didn't do a ton. It basically just bumped it so that you can see the date. Alright, so step 4. Insert a function in cell D11 to display the item name based on the provided inventory lookup information in the range B24 to D29. Be sure to use the appropriate absolute cell referencing, and the function returns as an exact match. Copy the function from cell D11 through D19 to complete column D. Alright, so we're going to do our first lookup. So we're going to go to D11. So usually in a lookup, you look to the left, and that's where you're looking up, and then you find the table. So we're looking up the SKU number, or all these SKU numbers, to get the item names. So 294211, if you look right down here, 294211 stands for leather sectional. All right, so we're here, we're looking up the SKU number. The SKU number is going to cross-check it with the table down here, and then it's going to give us the leather sectional. So let's go through the formula options to put together our formula. So click in D11, we're going to go up to formulas, we're going to go to lookup, and we're going to go to VLOOKUP right here. So it's a VLOOKUP because it's a vertical, our table's vertical. So I'm going to click that. What that means basically is you have the SKU numbers like this. So this SKU number, then here's the description, they're listed here, and then we have the price, which is an additional item in this table. If these SKU numbers were listed this way, and then the description was listed below it, and then the price below that, that would be more horizontal. So that would be an H lookup. But because the SKU numbers go down, description goes down, and then the price, most of the lookups, I would say 99.9% of our lookups are going to be VLOOKUPs. So our lookup value, when you click through these, this little description down here changes. So our lookup value is the value to be found in the first column of the table. It can be a value, reference, or a text string. So we're looking up basically the first SKU number. So that is C11. So I can click in C11, and there's C11 here. And then our table is basically the first SKU down here down to the last price. You don't need the titles up here. So we're gonna go B24 to D29 like this. And then we're gonna make that absolute, because if we don't, when we copy this formula down, the table is basically gonna keep shifting down. So if you're in the lab, you wanna press F4. If you're on a laptop, press FN, F4, and you can see it put in the $B, $24, colon, $D, $29. So on a laptop, it's FN, F4. So you hold FN and then you press F4. Same as in the lab, but you have to hold FN first. All right, so the table is the value to be found in the first column of the table. So basically, that's our lookup value. Why didn't that change? There we go, our table. So it's a table of text, numbers, logical values in which the data is retrieved. So this would be our table because the SKUs match here, and then you want to just basically select the entire table and make it absolute. So that's the dollar signs. So making it absolute with the dollar signs basically locks it in. So when we copy this formula down from D11 all the way down, it doesn't take the table and copy it down each time on the page. So the column index number is basically the column number in the table array from which the matching value should be returned. The first column of values in the table is column 1. So when you have your table that you get the data from, you would look at it and this is column 1, the description would be 2, and the price would be 3. So it doesn't matter if this is here or if it's over here, it would still be 1, 2, 3, which is a little confusing because in this sheet, the SKU numbers are in column B and then description C and D. So you don't pay attention to that when you're doing the column index number. You count the SKU is 1, description's 2, and price is 3. So we have the SKU right here, and all these match up to items here, and we want the description, the item name. So the SKU is in column 1, the description's in 2, and the price is in 3. So since we want the item name, that's the description. That would be 2, so we're going to put a 2 there. And then our range lookup, basically, if you look down here, it says to find the closest match in the column, it's true, and to find an exact match, it's false. So in the instructions, it said the function returns an exact match. So the exact match equals false, so we're going to type false there. So basically we got C11 because we're looking up the SKU number. And then our table is down here, $B, $24, colon, $D, $29. That's our entire table. We made it absolute. The column index number is 2 because we have the SKU numbers. We want the description. So SKU, this would be our column number 1, description's 2, and price is 3. And then false because it's an exact match. So I'm going to say OK. And we have leather sectional. And then we're going to come to that fill handle on the bottom right. And we're going to drag that down. And we should have all item names that match the SKU numbers. So 446741 is the end table set. Looks good. 306862 is the entertainment center. Looks good. So if you have any error messages or anything looks weird, you probably forgot to make the table absolute. So you can see up here, this is the formula. Equals VLOOKUP. You have your parentheses, C11, comma, $B, $24, colon, $D, $29, comma, 2, comma, false. So we had and then close your parentheses. So we had 4 separate areas in that window that we put data in. So that's the 4 areas right here. 1, 2, 3 is the 2, and 4 is the false. It just separates it by commas. All right. So that is our first lookup. All right. And then step 5 is insert a function in cell F11 to display the item price based on the provided inventory lookup information. Be sure to use appropriate absolute cell referencing, and the function returns an exact match. So it's telling us to use absolute, it's telling us it returns an exact match. Copy the function from cell F11 to F19 to complete column F. So F11 right here. So now we got price. So notice it's another lookup, and here's the price down here. All right. So basically now we're looking up the SKU number 294211 down here, 294211, to get the price, $13.99. All right, so that's our second lookup. So we're going to go into F11, we're going to go to formulas, we're going to go to lookup and reference, we're going to scroll down to VLOOKUP again. So VLOOKUP, we're going to open our window. So we're looking up, everything stays the same except for the column index number, because instead of looking for the description, now we're looking for the price. All right, so our lookup is still C11. So our lookup value is, we're looking up that first SKU number. Then our table stays the same, B24 to D29. And we're going to make that absolute. So hit FN F4, so that's FN on your keyboard if you have a laptop. If you're doing this in the lab, you just press F4. FN F4. So it puts in the dollar signs for you. $B, $24, colon, $D, $29. And then our column index number is the column in which we want the matching value. So we have the SKU, this is column 1, the description is column 2, we already did that, and the price is column 3. So for this one, we're going to put a 3. And you can see here, $13.99, formula result, $13.99, so it gives you like a little preview. And that looks right for that SKU number, 294, 211, and there's the price. And then our range lookup was the true or false, and it said it's an exact match, so we're going to put false. We're going to hit OK. So here's $13.99, $13.99 looks good. Hit OK. And we're going to take the fill handle and copy that down. So you can see, let's see, 46741. That's $467.99. So it just rounded to 468. Dining room table 643081, $599.99. So it's 600. So these look good. If you forget again to make this absolute. So just to show you, let me show you quickly what happens. Let me delete these out. So I'm going to take off the absolute. So this is without absolute. The first one comes out right, and then when I copy it down, you can see I got all like error messages, NAs. So what happens is, watch, let me make this a little smaller. Watch what happens to the table being selected. So here, it's here. Then when I move down to here, see how the table has shifted? 1, 2, 3. So we came down here, 1, 2, 3. So it shifted down. And by the time I get down here, the table is all the way down here. So that's why you need to lock it in. So basically, if that happens to you, you can just delete what you copied, come back up to the regular formula, say, okay, I was supposed to make this absolute, select both of them, or do each one separately, but make sure you have dollar signs on all of them. So FN, F4, so you should have the dollar sign $B, dollar sign $24, colon, dollar sign $D, dollar sign $29. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to copy that down. Should be good. All right. So where are we? We are, all right, so we just did 4, we did 5. 6, we're going to apply the currency format to column F. So let's go to column F. So select F, and we're going to go to home and to the number format and hit the down arrow, and we're going to click on currency. So it should look like that. And then we are on 7. So 7, we're going to do an if function. So basically, if looks to see if, like, for example, if there's a delivery, yes or no, or if there's a charge for engraving, yes or no. So for this one, it says insert an if function in cell G11 to calculate the total due. If the customer has chosen delivery, column E equals yes. There's an additional delivery charge located in cell L11. If the item is not delivered, if there's a no, the total due is the price. So be sure to use appropriate relative and absolute cell references. Copy the function from G11 to G19 to complete column G. So basically, all right, so G11's here. So we're going to look, and if we look over here, this is the price, and this is the delivery, yes or no. You can see that here. And then over here is the delivery fee, $75. So if it's yes, basically, so see, like, just listen to me talking through the function. So if, and that's the function, it's called an if function. So if the delivery is yes, we're gonna put together, so delivery is what? E11. So if E11 equals yes, then we're gonna do the delivery fee, which is like L11 over here. L11, and we're gonna make that absolute, and we're gonna add that to the price, and to get the total due. But if it's a no, then there's no delivery fee, it's just the price. All right, so let's walk through the formula. So go to formulas. So let's click in G11 first, and then we're going to go to formulas, and if is under logical. So think of, I guess, like a flow chart. If it's yes, then it's this. If it's no, then it's this. So logical, and then if. So checks whether a condition is met, returns one value if true and another value if false. So basically, it checks whether, so if it's a yes, it returns one value, and if it's a no, so yes would be true, no would be false, and it returns a different value. So we're going to click on the if, and we have this. Alright, so the logical test is any value or expression that can be evaluated true or false. So we have the if up here, so we don't have to type if, and then here's the formula forming. So basically, if I say if, what's our first one? E11. So if, over here, if E11 equals, and you want to have yes, but watch what happens when I type yes, and then I click out of this. I get a red error message. So basically, the yes needs to be in quotes. So I open my quote, so shift and the key next to the enter on the right side. So I open my quotes, YES, and then shift and close the quote. So now it says true. So E11 equals, open your quote, YES, and then quotes again. Alright? So if it's true, basically we're going to, let's move this here. We're going to go with the price, and it doesn't matter if you do the price, then the delivery fee, or the delivery fee and then the price. So we can start with the price, F11, and we're going to add that to the delivery fee, which is L11. L11 in and make it absolute so it doesn't go L11, L12, L13 and copy down. So we're going to hit FN, F4. So it should be F11 plus $L, $11. So you can see over here, it's coming up 1474 because it's basically adding $13.99 plus the 75 and you get 1474. And if it's false, meaning if it's a no, then it's just a price. So the price, our first price is F11. So this is basically all we need to enter. So we're saying if E11 equals yes, and we want to do E11 equals open quotes, YES, and close the quotes. So that's the first one. If it's a yes, then we want to take the total due, our price, the first price, so that's F11, and add that to the delivery fee, which is L11, but we need to lock in L11, so this doesn't copy down. So it doesn't go L11, L12, L13. So when we use F11 and it copies down, it's fine because it's staying within each of the prices for the formula. But over here, you don't want 75 to change to 3.25 and then 12. So we lock that in, and then if it's false, it's just the price, and the price is F11. So I'm going to hit OK. We got 1474. I'm going to get that fill handle. You click it and drag it down. And it should look like this. So let's see. Our yeses should have $75 added to it. So this one looks about right. The no's should stay the same. No, yes, looks good. The yes 809.99 is increased here, looks good. The no stayed the same, and then our yes. So it looks good. And then we want to apply the currency format to column G. So let's go click on G, go to home, go to your number formatting, and currency. So looks good. If something isn't looking right in the if function, make sure you, if you use the inputs with the delivery fee, make sure you make that delivery fee, you can see up here, $L, $11, locking that in. So this is how that first formula looks when we copy it down. Equals if, open parentheses, E11 equals open quotes, YES, close your quotes, then a comma. Then we take the price, the first price, F11, we add that to the delivery fee. So it's $L, $11, comma. And then if it's no, then it's just the price, F11. And then we close our parentheses and we copy that down. All right. So let's see. All right, so we're up to 9. 9 is our payment function. So we're going to insert a function in cell I11 to calculate the first customer's monthly payment using the appropriate relative and absolute cell references. Place a minus sign to the left of the present value argument so that the function returns a positive result. Copy the formula down the column. So I'll explain that a little more as we do it. So let's go to I11. So the monthly payment formula is in the financial options. So we're going to go to click in I11. You can see here we have what? Interest rate, we have months per year, we have our total due, and then we have years to pay it off. So let's go click in I11, go to formulas, go to financial. So think I have to make a payment. These are my finances. And then we're going to scroll down to PMT. So scroll too far, right here. PMT calculates the payment for a loan based on constant payments and a constant interest rate. So let's click on that. All right, so drag this box over here for now. Put it up here. All right, so our rate, when you click in your rate, again, it gives you some great examples down here. So it's the interest rate per period for the loan. For example, 6% divided by 4 for quarterly payments at a 6% APR. So that is quarterly payments. We're doing monthly payments. So we would divide that by either 12 or down here we have months per year. So that's a 12. So that would be in, can't see, L12. Actually, that looks like L13. Yeah, L13. So, where can I put it? Let's just keep it here for now. All right, so we want to follow like this example. So we're going to do, instead of 6%, we have 3.25 over here. So I'm going to click this. This is L12, right? So that is our interest rate. And when we use L12 instead of a specific number, if the interest rate were to change and we change it in here, we don't have to redo all the formulas. Whereas if we, instead of putting L12, if we put 3.25% and ran the formula, we would have to change each formula if the interest rate were to change. So L12, and then we're going to make that absolute because we don't want it to go to L12, L13, and then some blank spaces down here. So FN, F4. And then we're going to divide that, so similar to this, where they divided it by 4, but it's quarterly payments. We're going to divide that slash by L13 here. So normally you can just put a 12 in there, but for this example, they have months per year with L13, so they want you to use that. So we're going to click L13, and then we're going to make that absolute. So FN, F4. So that first line with the rate should be $L, $12 slash for division, $L, $13. Okay? And then we're going to click in NPER. So this is the total number of payments for a loan. So for this case, we have years up here, right? So if I just click in H11, watch what happens. H11, it just shows me 3. So we know it's not 3 payments, it's 3 years. So we have to multiply H11 by 12, the 12 months, or we can use L13 over here. So we're going to do an asterisk, so shift in The A key gets us the asterisk, and then the months per month is L13, and then we're going to make that absolute so it stays in L13, so FN F4. So for this one, it should be H11 asterisk to multiply $L $13. So you can see this 36. So now that makes sense. 3 years, 12 months each year, 36. And then PV is our present value. So what is the total amount that a series of future payments is now worth? So basically, what's the total due? So shift this down a little more. So our present value for the first one is G11. All right. So watch what happens when I just click in here for G11. So right here we got a negative 43.028. Down here, negative 43.028. So when we read the instructions, it said place a minus sign to the left of the present value argument so that the function returns a positive result. So basically, we're just going to put a minus sign before G11. And so we get a positive result. So it would be 43.028, and so on and so forth. If we round it, 43.03 would be the monthly payment. So if you forget that minus sign, you can always add it after, but you're going to get, I'll show you, you're going to get a negative number. So right now, this is correct. So we have rate, $L, $12 divided by, so the slash, $L, $13. The number NPER is the number of payments. So we have H11 multiplied, so an asterisk, multiplied by $L, $13, which is the 12 months to get the 36. And then the present value is how much we owe. So the first one here is G11. So we have to add the minus sign before it so that we get a positive number. Okay, so I'm going to say okay. So we should get 4303, right? And here's the formula up here. Equals PMT, open your parentheses, $L, $12, slash $L, $13. So we're basically taking the interest rate and dividing it by 12, or by L12 divided by L13, all right? And then the H11 is our 3 years. We have to multiply that by 12, or the 12 months over here in L13. Like, you know, there's always going to be 12 months in a year. So technically, if you were doing your own project, you wouldn't need to have a months per year, but for this exercise, they do. And then the last part was G11, the total due, but we put a minus sign before it to get a positive number. So for example, if I come up here and take that minus sign out and run it again, you can see I get a negative number. So we don't want that. So if you ever get that, just come back in, come up here, click before that first value, put a minus sign, hit enter, and then we have a positive number. Okay? Then we're going to copy this down. And this should be our monthly payments for our payment function. All right, so we're up to 10. So 10 says use quick analysis to insert a function in cell I-20 that calculates the total of all monthly payments in column I, and then it gives you a tip for Mac users. So the quick analysis basically is when I select all the monthly payments like this pops up. Oops, this pops up. Wait, where's my quick analysis? There we go, sorry. This pops up, my quick analysis. So this was our autofill. This is basically Copilot AI, but this is what we want. The one with the little lightning bolt, it says quick analysis. So we select the range, I11 to I19, click on quick analysis, and then it opens up this down here. So we want totals. So you have formatting charts, totals, tables, and sparklines. We want totals, and then just click on sum, and you can see it puts the sum in right there, and it bolts it for you. So if I click on that, you can see this is the formula. Equals sum, parentheses, I11, colon, I19. So we could have just put the formula in there. It doesn't bold it, but the quick analysis is kind of easy to use. So again, you would just select the range. When the quick analysis opens, go to totals and click on sum. I already have the sum here, so I don't want to do it again. All right, so we have, let's see, we did 10, 11. We're going to enter the customer name McGowan in cell B6. So let's go to B6 right here. So we're going to do Mick, Gowan. Got that? You can see this matches McGowan here. So we're basically going to use the XLOOKUP to look up the rest of this information right here and put it in this area. All right, so let's go to our instructions. So we did 11, 12. Use the XLOOKUP function in cell C6 to look up the customer name in the worksheet and to return the corresponding SKU, item name, delivery option, price, total due, years financed, and monthly payment. So the XLOOKUP is pretty much like the VLOOKUP. So the VLOOKUP, we looked up the SKU, and then we got the item name, the leather sectional. We looked up the SKU, and we got the price using this down here, right? So the VLOOKUP can only look things up to the left and returns one value at a time. So we look up 294211, we get leather sectional, and then we copied it down. So we can only look up one at a time. It can only give one result. It only also looks to the left. The XLOOKUP can look up to the left and to the right, and it can return multiple areas, such as we looked up the SKU here and it just gave us leather sectional, but when we look up McGowan here, it's going to give us the SKU, item name, delivery, price, total due, years, and monthly. So it's going to pull from this information. All right, so we want to click in cell C6. We want to go to formulas, lookup, and now we want an XLOOKUP. So we're going to scroll down to the bottom and go down to X. So basically it says searches a range or an array for a match, returns a corresponding item from a secondary range or array. By default, an exact match is used. So remember in the VLOOKUP, we had to do false for an exact match. This one we don't have to do anything because the default is an exact match. All right, so I'm going to click on XLOOKUP, and this is our window. All right, so what are we looking up? What's the lookup, the value to search for? So we're basically, we're looking up the name, McGowan, right here, so B6. So we want to look up McGowan, and we want to look McGowan up. What's the lookup array? We want to look it up from B11 to B19. So from here to here. So we're going to look through these names to find McGowan. All right. And then our return array is basically going to be the rest of it. So C11 to I19. So we're going to click C11 here, and we can either go down and over, or we can go over and down. So we should just have C11 to I19, and that's basically it. So we're in C6, that's our formula. We want to look up McGowan in B6, so that's the first one, B6, and we're going to look up that name from this group right here, B11 to B19, so that's the second part right here, B11 to B19. So we're going to say we want to search for McGowan, so we want to search for this. Take that out, I didn't need to do that. We want to search for McGowan with these client names. So that's why that second part is B11 to B19. And then our lookup array is we want to, once we identify who we are looking for, we want to return with the SKU number, the item name, the delivery price, total due, years, and monthly. All right. So that is C11 right here through I19. So that's the return array. So first one, B6, second one, B11, colon, B19, and the return array is C11, colon, I19. All right, I'm going to say OK. And you can see how it automatically put in everything here. The formatting's off. You can see the SKU looks like a date. The monthly is a long number. So what we're going to do now, and the next step, is to use the format painter to copy the format from C11 to I11 to C6 to I6. So basically, we want to copy C11 to I11. So we're going to click on C11 here to I11 like that. So we want to select that. This is what we want to copy. So we're going to select that, go up to Home. On the beginning part of the Home tab in the clipboard, we have Format Painter. We did this in Word briefly as well. So we're going to click on, go to Home, click on Format Painter, and that gives us this little paintbrush. See the little paintbrush? And now we want to apply that to C6 to I6. So I'm going to click on C6, hold that click, drag it across to I6 like that, and then let it go. And when I let it go, it basically fixed the SKU number and the monthly and all that. If your date does that, it just means the space sort of collapsed. So I'm going to click on C again. This was in the beginning, and we went to Format, Auto Fit Column Width. So it just made it a little bit wider. All right, so that was our XLOOKUP, and then we use the Format Painter to copy the formatting, and then we're going to do a function. Let's go back to our directions. Insert a function in cell H24 to calculate the total number of orders in the SKU column. So what it wants to know is how many orders are in this column. So when I select this, you can see I have some quick stats down here. I have an average, a count, and a sum. So the count is basically showing me there's 1 SKU, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's our count. That's our number of orders. So we're going to click in H24, and the formula for number of orders is count. So we can get to that a few ways. We can go up to Home and come over here to Sum And if I hit the down arrow, you have sum, average, count numbers, max, and min. Or I can come over to formulas and go to auto sum here, same thing. So basically I could click on count numbers, and when I do that, so I'm going to click, again, we're in H24, go to formulas, go to auto sum, click on count numbers. So the formula is equals count, and then it always selects a random range, so don't stress what it selected. So from this, we want to calculate the total number of orders in the SKU column. So we're going to click on C11 through C19. So now you can see how the formula changed. It's equals count, open parentheses, C11 colon C19. You can see it up here as well. So when I hit enter, we get 9. So this is basically the formula up here. Equals count, open your parentheses, C11 colon C19. And then we're going to go to H25. And let's see, we did 14, now we're going to do 15. So 15 is, you can see 15, 16, 17, and 18 are all kind of similar in the sense that you want to insert a function, the cell changes. So the first one is H25 to calculate the lowest monthly payment in column I. So they all reference column I. All right. So the first one is the lowest monthly payment. So our lowest should be, if you look at your monthly payments here, the lowest is $823, and our highest would be $4303. So when we do the lowest, we're going to come to H25, and we're going to go to auto sum, and go to min. So our lowest would be equals min, and then we want to select that range from I11 to I19. So you can see the formula is equals min, open your parentheses, I11 colon to I19, close your parentheses. So I'm going to hit enter. So our lowest one should be 823. Our average, we can come back up to auto sum and click on average. So equals average, and then our range is I11 to I19. So equals average, open parentheses, I11 colon I19, close your parentheses. And when I do that, our average is 1923. So equals average, open parentheses, I11 colon I19, close your parentheses. Our maximum, if we look at our maximum here, the highest one is 4303. So we want to come to auto sum, go to max, and we want to select I11 to I19. So it should be equals max, open parentheses, I11 colon I19, close your parentheses, hit enter, and the highest one is 4303. You can see equals max, parentheses, I11 colon I19, close your parentheses. And then our median monthly payment is not an auto sum. You can see auto sum, we have sum, average, count numbers, max, and min. So if we don't know what we're looking for or how to get it, we can either go to more functions or click on this FX, or we could click on the FX here. So they're all the same thing. So this opens a window that looks like this. It says type a brief description of what you want to do and then click go. FX here, same thing. Or if we go auto sum and then more functions, same thing. All right, so if we click FX and we want median, so MED IAN. If I click go, you can see it opens some functions that they're recommending. You can click on them. So when I click on median, it says returns the median or the number in the middle of a set of given numbers. So that sounds good. So we're going to click OK. And now we just want to select the range. So our range is still what? I11 to I19. And then we can basically press OK or enter. So I'm going to press OK. So now you can see the median equals median, open parentheses, I11 colon I19, close your parentheses, and the median is 1366. So I think that was the last step. Yeah. So basically we could get ready to print this if you want. So if I went to file print, there's no other steps, but just to show you that. So now it's showing 1 of 3, right? So this is be the first page, second page, third page. So if we put this to landscape, portrait orientation, we can change it to landscape. And you don't have to do this. Don't submit it this way. I just want to show you different ways to view it. If we put it to landscape, you can see now it's 1 of 2 pages, right? If you still wanted it to fit, you could go to where it says no scaling, or if you go to page setup, we did this once before in class, fit to 1 page by 1 page. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to say OK. So now you can see it squeezed everything on 1 page. So depending on your assignment and what you have, you can, if you need to, you can change the page orientation from landscape, from portrait to landscape to make it a little bit wider. You could also change your margins. So if I want to come to margins here and go to narrow, you can see it bumped out the margins, and then it gives us more space over here to spread everything out. All right. So none of that was required for this assignment, but I just wanted to show you. So originally it was back on portrait. We didn't have it fitting on 1 sheet. We had no scaling, and then our margins were normal. So if you completed everything, you can save it. So go to File, Save a Copy, or come up here and save it. Because we went to Print Preview, this is the print line coming down. All right, and then you would just go back to Blackboard, and you would upload the file. So upload, find the file, hit open. I have it open, so it won't let me upload it, and then submit it. All right, so I hope this was helpful. All right, hope you're learning a lot, and this is Excel Chapter 2, the Garden Furniture assignment. Okay, take care.